Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Dunder Snuff, Crucial Blue, Eoraptor, welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome guys. So, we are jumping in, I think I'm all set here. First of all, for those who are Patreon members, I did put a new post and I have a video available for you guys to watch 24 hours before everybody else. Let me know if the link doesn't work or something, but that should be good. It's more Horus Heresy stuff, so if you don't want to learn rules for Horus Heresy, I understand. Alright. We are going to get in and paint. Fox, welcome in. So I had a pretty bad realization this morning, and as I was base coating some minis with this Pro Acryl bone, I realized that I am almost out of Pro Acryl bone. And not only that, but I don't have a spare bottle, when I usually keep spare bottles of paints. So I was not able to finish base coating all my minis. I have the crew for these artillery things, so I think I'll just work on these guys today since they have the color on them. But the steel jacks don't have the bone on them, and then I'm not able to put the bone color on the vehicle or actual artillery itself. So I have to wait until I go to my local store, which might be in the next couple days. But we'll get everything corrected. We'll figure it out. Jaded Valkyrie, welcome in. I know a guy selling that stuff. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the link. Thank you. Yeah. It's just what I need. How you guys doing today? I'm doing well. So last week, it was last Thursday, I pulled a muscle in my back. Or it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday when I pulled a muscle in my back, but it was fine through Thursday because I wasn't working on my back or anything on Thursday. And then come Friday morning, I pulled another muscle, a different muscle in my back. And so I ended up not working out on Friday, and tried to spend the weekend kind of nursing it and everything. It's great. Yeah, being old and everything. But so I've been going to the gym this week and doing just fine, and then today was the day I was not looking forward to because it was my day that I was going to work out my back muscles. And I worked out. I did my full workout, and I was totally fine today. So feeling extra good that I was able to do the things I wanted to do. Not giving me issues. Rex Omega, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, the mole mortars we're going to be painting. It's really cool. Working a lot, exhausted, yeah. Work kicking your butt. No, back injuries are not fun, and I used to pull muscles in my neck and back a lot when I worked in a warehouse and was driving forklifts and reach trucks all day. And since then, my I guess my neck and back muscles have done a lot better. And ever since I've been going to the gym regularly, it's been a lot better as well. But sometimes it just happens. You just tweak a muscle, just do something little, and it messes you up. So I'm happy I was able to recover as quick as I did, though, and still able to do the things I wanted to do. Okay, I think that's it for the skin on that guy. Productive day at the office. A lot of small things done. That's nice. That's good. Slowly going through a to-do list. It's been building up for a week. Yeah, lame. Oh my gosh, I feel like this week I have been running around just doing so much. And I have more stuff on the to-do list. Yeah, I did. I'll have to post a picture. So I did. I tapped a maple tree in my yard and hooked it up to a bucket. Um, I had this moment. I may have mentioned this yesterday, where I had this moment where oh, where am I looking? Let me know. Let me know where I'm looking. Yeah, well, welcome, Anthony. Welcome. So, where I was looking at the weather, and I was like, oh no, like the weather is perfect for like the next 3 days to get like the maple water or whatever, to get the sap out of the maple trees, and to maybe try to make some syrup. So I was kind of freaking out, like trying to get all that ready, and we ended up yesterday afternoon. My son and I went outside and we, drilled a hole into the tree, and we hooked up the tap and the little tube and the bucket and everything, and we checked it this morning and there was almost nothing in the bucket. So um, my first time trying this, and it's based on like reading and like random like little research and stuff, so I'm sure there are things I'm not doing right, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it another day, and if it's not not continuing, then I'll kind of rethink what's going on. Finish projects, yes. I got you. Oh yeah, more in Luminath. It's like the wizard lady. That's cool, man. Good job on the like veil over her face. It does all like I think you changed the tone of like the color a little bit, and so I think that's really good looking. No, great stuff. I like the purple with like the gold and the white. The base looks great. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Anthony. Fantastic looking. When do you get to the age where you just wake up after a perfectly wonderful, uninterrupted full night's sleep, and your back suddenly feel like a sumo wrestler tap danced on it? Yeah. I've had plenty of moments where I sneezed and like I couldn't move my neck for the next 2 weeks. I actually went to the doctor after sneezing and pulling a muscle in my neck this is when I was working in a warehouse, and that was my first time I got muscle relaxers. Those were really nice, actually. They definitely helped. Yeah, it does seem early blue, which would surprise me, but everything I have read says that the perfect like weather, what you need are mornings that are below freezing temperatures, and then it warms up in the afternoon above freezing. So that is all of the advice I had read. And so when I was looking at the temperature, I was like, it's going to be cold for a while, right? And then I looked up the temperature, and it was like, in the 20s in the morning, and then in the 40s in the afternoon. I was like, well, that's definitely the proper temperatures from what everyone's saying. So, maybe that's it. It's like that for the next 3 days, and then it gets up into like the 50s for the next week. So I was hoping I didn't miss my window, but also like I was thinking if I'm too early or it doesn't work out super well, there might be another, still another moment or another week or something in the next couple weeks that'll be good. So I'll just keep an eye out, and maybe I'll just go out and tap the other tree when the snow melts a little bit and get that one ready as well. Just painting these little tykes here. Little silly dwarves. Above freezing in the day is close to freezing at night, but I think you want more like in the 40s. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my understanding is like the sap is supposed to freeze a bit overnight, and then as it's melting, it releases pressure and it kind of allows the sap to flow. The sap must flow. Exactly what I'm doing with these. I'm going to keep their painting the skin color here. All right. Local sandwich shop finally on a delivery app. Oh, nice, nice. All right, Blue, have a good one. Yeah, guys, there is a new channel point redemption if you happen to have a metric boatload of channel points. It is a large amount. It's 150,000 channel points, but it's essentially you send me a mini and I'll paint it for free. I'll paint a mini on stream for you. That's the idea. So. Third of the way there. Nice, nice. A new life goal just dropped? Alright. Any mini. So here's my thought, Dunder. It is currently any mini. I'm not going to set a bunch of limits. It is a single miniature. If, I figure if you're hanging around this channel enough to get 150,000 channel points, like, we're cool and you're not just, like, trolling me. So, like, honor system a bit. Okay, I can't commit a month to painting a like a warlord titan or something, but you want to send me a big mini. A great unclean one sounds like a blast to paint, honestly. So like you want to send me a big mini, send me a big mini, but if it's too much, I'll let you guys know. So, and it's very much like redeem it and then we talk over Discord. We'll chat about it and get an idea of what you want, how you want things painted, and all of that. But I never get the opportunity to paint demons, so demon minis would be fun. A Primarch on the table. So your take on the line would be neat. Occurs multi-dual. Yeah, Primarchs would be fun. Yep. Just wait till there's some 30k plastic Primarchs. Oh, I might just buy them all anyway. But Yeah, please don't hurt me. Is the social contract that is here with this channel point redemption. So that's all I ask. Yeah, don't abuse. Yeah, yep. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Don't be the one that ruins it for everybody else. So, okay. But, yeah, I mean, I would love to paint some minis for you guys. This is a great way to do that. So, I'm going to get the burnt orange. Yeah. And that is, and that's definitely a, if you're gonna redeem it, have like 2 or 3 minis in mind, and send me a message on Discord when you redeem it. That's the whole thing. Like, just communicate about it. All right. So, and we talk about it. And if for some reason, we can't come to an agreement on a mini that you want me to paint, I think your requests are ridiculous. Then I will refund your channel points if at the worst case scenario. But Greenleaf, what's going on? Can't go. You need soup. Make yourself some soup. No, Primarchs sound like fun. Some Greater Demons sound like fun. It gets people engaging and, you know, checking out the channel more and everything, then they're sticking around longer, then that's a win-win, right? Oh, it's right, I am. Right. So I just want to say, the Painting Son has, tomorrow is his, like, Valentine's Day, like, school thing, where they exchange all their little Valentines and everything, and candy and cards or whatever. Painting Son will have the coolest looking Valentine box. And I have to give much credit to Zendral, but Zen 3D printed a Clone Trooper helmet. It's a Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet for my son, and he actually he modeled it where he took a little chunk out of the top, like a little section out of the top, so you can drop things in through the top of the helmet. And the Painting Son, I assembled it, cleaned it up and assembled it, and then I did some other stuff to it, but Painting Son and I tonight are going to color it and make sure it is all ready and has the appropriate designs and everything that the Painting Son wants. And then, yeah, he's going to take it to school. And that's going to be his... it's going to be his Valentine box. Yeah, and Jaded, I have painted, I think, 4 Primarchs at this point. 4 of the Heresy era Primarchs. I've painted... So the Lion, as far as the 40k mini, I think I've painted once or twice. Maybe just once. I can't remember if I've painted them multiple times. But I have painted the 40k line. I've not painted the 30k version. I've painted Gilliman twice. And I've painted Angron. Angron was a wild mini to paint, but I had a blast painting that mini. Yeah, the Forge World Primarchs are fun. They're interesting because each of them are like a unique challenge. I believe Greenleaf has probably painted quite a few Primarchs. I don't know. You let me know, Greenleaf, if you've painted some 30k Primarchs, but they're all like they're all very unique, and it's like a I don't know. It's hard to describe other than like a full project, each one of them. So you have to really think about assembly, and you have to magnetize them if you're going to assemble them in any kind of, or if you're going to paint them in any kind of sub-assemblies, like off their base, because of how the minis fit in their bases and like the display bases and everything. I'll paint a Space Wolf for you, that's cool. I've painted Space Wolves. Listen, I might hate Space Wolves, but I don't want them to look terrible. So, I want them to be cool. It's just they continually fail at that, so... Thanksgiving, my local GW, at your local GW, some dude bought and painted an Angron 24 hours just for the event. Nice. That's crazy. I imagine that's like a lot of airbrush work that goes into that. I know a dude that paints. He does like commission painting with airbrushes a lot, and yeah, he'll paint minis so quick, like relative to like a normal painter, but it's almost exclusively airbrush work that he does. So being able to add all your gradients and stuff, he's got a really unique style too. So it like lends itself to the lighting and like the things that you can do with airbrushes really well. You don't think he airbrushed, dang? Okay. Did it look good? It's okay if it didn't, but wasn't super clean, wasn't sloppy. All right. I mean, that's still impressive. That's yeah, dude was probably doing nothing but painting that mini for those 24 hours, but I could see it. My most the thing I'd be most nervous about would be like gluing pieces and like having pieces fall off while you're trying to paint the mini, and just dealing with that. And just working on base colors. So we're just doing these minis today because I ran out of my Pearl Crow bone color. So these are the minis I have the bone on, and I can't work on any of the others. So stuck until I go to my LGS. I did think about going to my LGS this morning, but I wouldn't have got back until like noon. At that point, it's like, why am I can find things to paint, you know, today. It's not like I'm not making progress, so I'll just make the progress I can today, and then next week we'll continue on with the Votann. I'm pretty confident we'll finish these next week. And, you know, speaking of the rest of this week, I have mentioned this every stream so far, but I am not streaming tomorrow. So, family members having a medical procedure done, so I will not be around to stream. Yours doesn't open till 11. Yeah, most of my stores open at 10, but then it's, you know, 15-minute drive there and back, or 15-minute drive there, and, you know, hopefully that one has the colors. The one that I usually go to, their stock is never very good. So if I want to like guarantee something's in stock, I need to travel, you know, 30 minutes away, 35 minutes. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's a minor thing, but gotta be done. So we're gonna make sure it's done. Hey, Misfit. What's going on? So any Patreon members that play Heresy, there's a new video available for you. I did post up, so if you want to watch that a little early before it goes out to the public, that is for you. And it's just like basic army building. Figured I could get one of those videos out before I get my next one out, which is like more army building stuff, but specific for my Legion, so I didn't want to have to like retread things. How are the Votann? They're going well. I ran out of a color. I realized I was going to run out when I started airbrushing them, and yeah, sure enough, I ran out. So I can't paint everything, or can't start on everything today. So I have to. Really, Twitch? Really? You cut down on me already? Okay. Sorry if that cut out, guys. I don't know why it's starting to do this again. I'm going to write that down for myself to go check. And sorry. Write down some to-do list here. Yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna write okay. Well, get my to-do list going, I guess, already. Alright, we got some orange. Next colors. They're all wearing cool gloves. Are their fingers? Yeah, you know, I need to get their fingers. All of them have yeah, you're excited. Yeah. Your ISP's been acting up. Yeah, and I've heard there's been issues with like Twitch recently, but you know, I'm going through restreaming. I don't know if YouTube's cutting out, but it's like my restream connection has been wonky. So I've heard there have been issues going around anyway, but I want to make sure it's not me because we dealt with that long enough. Yeah, Misfit, hopefully the video is informative. Please let me know because, you know, I want that video to be, like, as thorough as possible. Because it is, like, a very general topic that will probably be relevant for the next, you know, many years for this game, so... so yeah, I want something that'll age well. There's a lot of cyber attacks lately. There you go. I believe it. Right. Pointing dwarf. Okay, cool. Fold fingers. The robots don't have fleshy fingers, so we don't have to worry about them. Okay, so our next color. We could do silver. I could do browns for the belts, holster, like the shoulder straps. That might be a good next step. I think that's it for all of these guys. And then for these shoulder straps, backpacks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, let's get some black brown out. Has anyone here heard of a woman? She was a professor. She recently retired professor. Her name is Sarah Payne, and she does. She used to do lectures. She would give lectures on YouTube through like these different like geopolitics channels. But since she retired, she will do like interviews. And she does interviews about, it's about like geopolitics. So she was the professor of, what was it? Professor of Grand Strategy at the Naval War College. That was her job for many years. And she would occasionally do these YouTube lectures talking about different events in history and like why they happen and these different things. And she's been doing, well, she retired recently, and so she's been doing a lot of interviews with other like geopolitic kind of YouTubers, and they're very fascinating. Like, she's a very articulate person, incredible takes on like things that are going on in the world, and you know how we see that in history, how things are reflected in everything, and yeah, There was a new interview with her that popped up. I was listening to. I think it popped up a couple days ago, but I was listening to it this morning while I was eating breakfast, and it was just, yeah, incredible. I recommend to listen if you're interested in like if you're interested in like not necessarily just like geopolitics, but like history, like, you know, 20th century history is a big topic of hers, but also like nations and governments and how they relate to each other and like all these topics. And yeah, and you know, she admits that, you know, there are plenty of areas outside of her expertise, but yeah, it's nice to turn on YouTube and to hear like an intelligent and thoughtful person speaking about topics, about like broad, important topics. I guess that's probably what it boils down to a lot, but yeah. Very good stuff. So yeah, that's my YouTube channel recommendation for the day. Is anything by Sarah Payne. She doesn't have her own channel. She is not a YouTuber. She just gets invited to do interviews and lectures. It used to be lectures, now I think it's just interviews since she's retired, but And since I put it as actually a topic for today's stream, what do you guys think of the new detachments? The new 40k detachments. They're coming with the, it's the Maelstrom stuff, right? Any initial thoughts or opinions? I haven't read through all of them, and I will not claim to be an expert on 40k detachments because I don't really play 40k anymore, but the Renegade one, so I'd guess that would be Huron Blackheart's like main detachment, is very much like Ultramarines. Like it's like Codex Astartes, but for Chaos Marines. So, which I guess makes sense for Renegades, right? They still fight in a similar way. It seems like it was successful for them in their previous life. So it works. Look at the Spike Journal, my journal. What do you think of journals for Blood Bowl? I know every specialist game is like going to journals, and they seem to be really successful, like a really successful format. And I personally love the journals for Heresy. I love that system a lot better than the big campaign books they would do. But I'm curious, as a Blood Bowl player, what are your thoughts? Because that's your guys' first journal, right? They're cheap, optional, and I like it. Yeah. Same. Don't pertain to just demons so much, so I don't really pay attention. It looks interested now in Chaos Marines. Oh, okay, yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, this campaign book here, the Maelstrom, is Chaos and Eldar. The next campaign book will be Chaos and maybe Knights, I think, is what it'll be, but it'll be Imperium. But I think I was reading that there's like a new Knight vehicle coming with the next campaign set. And then there might be one more campaign book, and I think it's Orcs and like Imperial Guard, I think is the idea. Spike journals have general suggestions and a thematic cup you can play. Has suggested starting offensive and defensive position. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Orcs and Votann each have a detachment in Maelstrom. That's right. Yep. Didn't the Orcs get like a pirate detachment? Wasn't that like their thing? The Votann got like a mercenary detachment or something. What's different about them, Anthony? I haven't read those ones yet. And I'm not terribly familiar with Votann rules anyway, so... Hey, Raja, what's up? Then look at the Orcs. The Votann one seems to give a lot more control over the army rule currency. Yeah, the points. Okay, is more dynamic. Alright, that's nice. Good for them. belt, holster, shoulder straps. That's what we're doing. I have been buying every journal for Horus Heresy, and I've liked them all so far. Even the Skitarii one, which I don't own any Skitarii, but I have been, I've been really liking the journal system. Just like for the Heresy, it's like a cool amount of lore that's in there, and it's, you know, topics that maybe aren't so well covered, or they expand on stuff that they haven't before. It's not just like retreading the same stuff. And there's, you know, a bit of rules and some new stuff and like new missions to play. And the journal missions have been really interesting. So the core missions and the Heresy have been probably one of the weaker parts of the rules, the new edition. And so the journal missions are definitely a lot better. Okay. He's got a strap on the bottom of his computer there. His iPad or whatever he's got on him, so we'll paint that. All right. Alright, that's the brown done. We can go move on to black, I think is our color we move on to now. Yeah, let's move on to some black. Meeting 130. Don't want to have, but it's not optional. Oh, dang. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay. Dunder. Dang. Is it your department or someone else's department? Because that's crazy. Your department. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, hopefully it's all good news. Work with him. We aren't. We just need to hear their side. Okay. Jeez. Professor Grimm, welcome in. Good to see you. How have you been? Work, eat, sleep, paint, and game. That sounds, I mean, aside from the work part, it sounds like a nice day, but... What have you been painting recently? And what have you been gaming? Yeah, Dunder, hopefully it's all good. Regardless of what happens. Those things. Nice, like, biker glove things that they got. Oh, War Machine. Okay, okay. Took the day off to get stuff done around the house. Dang. I heard War Machine's making a bit of a comeback. I never got into War Machine personally. Good times though. What's going on? What's going on, Shiny Mew? Local guy wants to build a community in my area. So you know, I'm going down to playlist every weekend. Dang, okay. You get Shane. Okay. Yeah. Just existing, I get that. Shiny Mew, I understand. Hey, Night Trap. Troy, welcome. Oh, dang. So painting Necrons, Troy? Nice. The squats are squats. They are being themselves. But yeah, we're working on them. I'm painting the crew for the I think they're called Earth Shakers, but they're the artillery pieces. So that's what I'm working on today. Steamforged Games has made a number of legacy armies 3D printable. Dang, okay, that's really cool. Yeah, they're going for like maximum growth right now. Yeah, I think they learned from Trench Crusade. Took you forever to paint 3. Yeah, there's just a ton of individual minis here, right? Yeah, it's alright. I got them all on little temporary bases. We'll paint them and glue them up later. I'm surprised, actually, like, the overall model itself is smaller than I thought it would be. So yeah, I honestly thought it was like a giant, like, artillery piece, and the pictures kind of make it look a lot bigger, but it's just a large mortar with a crew of 3 dudes. Like, that's kind of the end of it. Dark Operations, Steampunk Frankenstein faction. Oh, cool. All right. I have to get my 3D printer back up and running. That's my project for tomorrow when I have time. Is to go through, and I have to maybe might end up replacing some parts, but I have to give a good, like, super deep clean my printer. Any fun plans for the weekend? Not a whole lot. I know the Painting Sun has a super long weekend due to Monday holiday, and they got like a teacher in-service day in his district on Friday, so he has quite a few days off. I see some family. I might play a game of Middle Earth this weekend. So, scientists and the monsters with different machinery and weapons. Oh, cool. It's Mechanicum or AdMech, right? It's just less, I guess, maybe a similar amount of steampunk. I don't know. That's AdMech are pretty steampunky. He's got robot feet, so we don't paint those. What team should you bring in your kill team game tonight? That's a good question. I'm gonna say whatever Dark Eldar team do you have? Do you have the Mandrakes? Because they're cool.
Look at me!
Where am I looking, Professor Grimm? mistake there. It's okay. With Tau team? Okay. The Archon team, but they're unpainted. Oh, boo. Why are they unpainted? Or Dark Eldar. Yeah, Tau's cool. In finishing, some pics of... Oh, your faction. Cool, your Frankenstein faction. Yeah, give me just a minute. Get the gloves on this guy. They should be your favorite, Raja. They should be. Troubadour transition paint as the base on the armor. Took so many base coats, just stopped. Yeah. Sounds like a Turbo Dork problem. I have never used the Turbo Dork paint, but I have heard it's pretty miserable to use. From multiple people. Much better through an airbrush. Yeah, but then like what, you know, it's a similar situation to my Thousand Suns. Like what happens when you make a mistake? You know, you gotta find a way to correct it. Okay, let's take a look in finished projects. Is it in finished projects? Yeah, okay, it is very Frankenstein. Alright. Also very Dark Eldar vibes those are putting off. That's cool. Wow, those are really cool looking minis. I like the little skinny scientists with all the like arms. All the robot arms. Those are cool. Yeah, really cool minis. Yeah, get good, don't make mistakes. Yeah, fair. Fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mistakes, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't laugh at that mitral. I think every model in the pics besides 2 or 3D printed. Yeah, those are great looking prints too. Like, they turned out really well. And I don't think I would know which ones are printed and which ones aren't. At least from the look I took already. Another win for 3D printing. Okay, we got robots. Our 3D printing's come in the past 10 years. Yeah, seriously. My one complaint about 3D printing at this point is that newer printers are losing features compared to older models. Like, I was looking at upgrading my printer last year, and everything I read, people were like, stick with your Elegoo Mars 3, like, stick with it, because they're like, these new ones, the 4 and the 5, like, doesn't have this feature and doesn't do this, and it's like you're paying all this extra money for for not an upgrade. I thought my printer was pretty feature bare anyway. They look good for players playing, yeah. Small factions for demos. Oh, okay. Like, what features? Honestly, Raja, I can't even remember what features, because it was like 3-4 months ago when I was looking at it. What's up, Estrello? What were some of the things? One of the things, there's in the 3 series and before, there's an integrated spot for a little air filter, and it's not like the craziest thing, it's just a little kind of crappy air filter, but the fact that it exists and it's there is really nice, and they took that out. So, like, if you want any kind of air filter, you have to, like, completely provide it yourself. What was another thing? There was something else. I know that was a big complaint. Or was that just me? I have not cut out for like 45 minutes. Like 45 minutes ago the stream cut out, but not since then. You're winning through attrition. Yeah, just convincing him with the cool looking minis. If that's what you gotta do, then that's fair. Estrello, how you doing today? You good? On lunch break? Nice. It is 12:15 already, isn't it? It is here. Hobby since I airbrushed those space wolves, yeah. I'd lose the urge to hobby if that was what I was doing too. So I get it. Right, I think it's about time to paint some silver. We're gonna get the just steel, mid-tone silver. Gonna work in stages on this, so. Understanding that we'll eventually put some washes on these and it'll tone down these colors a bit.
Look at me!
Where am I looking? Where's it going? Finished projects. Alright, cool. Let's take a look.
Good job.
Ah, thank you. Oh, nice. Alright. Very nice. Yeah, good improvements. You continue on the crystal, on the hammer, and on the bases and everything. Looks really good. Highlights on them and stuff. Good job on the eyes, getting the highlights on the hair. Very nice. Very nice work. Yeah, good job. Good job, Shiny Mew. Thank you for sharing. Just because of the crystals, yeah. I can see that. Something fun and different. I just win the lottery and not go back to work? Yes. Yes, you can, Estrello. Just don't forget about me when you do. Because I could use some lottery winnings too. The 1 point, yeah. Well, at least you would know how it feels to be the one billionaire in the country that pays taxes, right? Wouldn't that just be a wonderful feeling? I think I could make do with 500 mil. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could live off of it. It's no 1.8 billion, but I could live off of 500 million, you know. Start another Warhammer army or two, but otherwise, I don't know what I'd do. 1,000 acres and a compound in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here. Jeez. You're going full state militia there, Estrello, but okay. Alright. I can see the appeal. I figured I would just disappear off the map too, like just... couple things here. We're not getting everything yet, but we're getting a couple more things. You'd open a game store? I definitely would not open a game store. I would start a game club. So give me a like a you know, a building, like a property, in a big building with a big gaming hall, and like find a way to keep that a thing, but like, you know, maybe sell minis in there, but it wouldn't be part of it. Like, you know, people can join the club or whatever and you know, get money or get minis through that. But yeah, I would not want to win $500 million just to start working in retail. Well, basically an army of pagan boarmen, crucible guards, steampunk, full metal alchemists. Future ones coming soon. Dang, that's cool. They're releasing new factions and stuff. Good for them. Really going at it. As long as it breaks even. Yeah. If I win the lottery, I'd blow it all on Warhammer. I bet I could buy a whopping 6 kits with the winnings. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have one really good year of buying Warhammer, and you're like, whoa, I gotta rein this back. Vanish in the woods, be one with nature, and become a local cryptid, except on Sundays to play Warhammer. There you go. Yeah, building a big, not like a warehouse, but a big like gaming hall, I think would be fun. Doesn't have to be that big, but just a place and be like, you know, like to hang out with your friends and play games and have leagues and stuff. Except my one thing I would do though to help, I would make people pay for a membership, even if it's just like a tiny amount. Like, you would have to pay for your membership. because you have to have like an incentive for people. And yeah, I wouldn't tolerate people's crap either. Like, people are being jerks to people, then they're out. Yep. Alright, Estrello, enjoy work. Sorry you didn't win the lottery over your lunch break. Consider armies of legacy, all factions that were out before Mark IV. Is that like the 4th edition or whatever? Okay, okay. If I had that much money, I would still have to keep my... Well, I'd have to, like, reinstate my rule for myself, which is I don't buy a kit until I paint a kit. It's just purely so I don't just, like, buy all the minis and never... You know, never paint anything. We're gonna hang out with cool folks. Yeah. Hanging out by yourself, aren't you? If I won the lottery, I'd pay off all my debt, put away several million in interest-yielding accounts, live off the interest. I mean, I think, honestly, Anthony, like, I think for most of us, you got a lot of like middle-aged, like dudes in this channel talking about this. I think that's like step one, right? Is like, you know, you put your money in a trust and like safe accounts and you live off the interest. So $500 million, I mean, you're safely living off, you know, millions, if not tens of millions of dollars a year without worrying about any kind of growth. But, you know, you can comfortably live off $1 million a year and just have so much money, you know, sitting in that account and growing. That's like baseline. I would assume, or would hope. Would hope for people. And if it's not, it should be, guys. Be responsible with your $500 million you have coming in, okay? Paint scheme I'm doing right now for the skin. Pale white ivory color. This paint is not making it chalky. Yeah, that's kind of a problem when you're dealing with those kind of colors, right? Calculations. If you have 500 million, you can spend out 15 million a year, basically forever. Yeah, yep. Yeah, and if you're not being like super safe with it, you know, and you're just trying to follow the markets and stuff, you can have a lot more money, but who says you need to take a lot of risks when you have $500 million? But you have the money to take the risks, so it's all like a, you know, It's basically do what you want because you got $500 million. 5%. I mean, you don't even need that. Like $500 million on a 1% yield. You know, that's still $5 million a year if you're taking all the interest out every year. Like, that's a crazy amount of money. 5% yield is incredible though. Like, you can do a lot with that. If I can spend $15 million a year and be safe, I can spend a little less than already. I'm fine, yeah. Bills get paid, looking to get a house built on a plot of land, yeah. That's it, you know. Man, hopefully I have enough to build this house and buy some land. I see, like, I would start doing math or pay someone to start doing some big math for me, and I would start figuring out, like, how much money does it take to give free lunches for every kid in my state, like in the state of Ohio. Like, what is that, and how can I make that happen? You know, like, stuff like that. Because I know it doesn't cost that much money. But even if it's like, you know, that drain all my money in 5 years, like maybe I could partner with people. Yeah, number one, you hire a financial advisor. Yeah. You hire a fee-based financial advisor. Because, yeah. You have less incentive with being super risky with your money. Say besides going part-time instead of full-time. You go part-time working with $500 million. No way. No way. You know, so if I won that kind of money, in my mind, what happens is, yeah, you find, you know, an attorney and like a financial advisor, right? You kind of do those things first, right? Or like an accountant. And you start setting up that stuff. And then, in my opinion, like, I have a conversation. Well, first, you know, I have this conversation with my wife, but we kind of discuss, like, hey, we don't want to tell anybody we have all this money, right? You don't tell people, right, that you just won $1 billion lottery or whatever, because then you get death threats and you know, it's a problem. So you keep it secret, right? If anybody's paying attention, they might be able to figure things out. So you have to be like, well, you know, I talked to my wife and to be like, well, how about you know, finish out the school year, you know, your current school year as a teacher, and then you tell people, like, you know, yeah, I got a job in this other district and we're moving out of the state, or we're you know, moving or whatever, and we're going there. So in your state, it's public information, yeah, which is crummy. Like, that's the worst thing. But yeah, there would be sides. Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, yeah, do you like up and move? But it would be, yeah, it's like, okay, we got to continue our life for a little bit, right? And then when the buzz kind of dies down, then we kind of make some life changes, kind of thing. Yeah, getting a new phone number. If it's public information, that's when you get a new phone number immediately. And that'd be the first thing I would do. what is next on these guys? Handles here. Little remote control. Yeah, running a game club would be fun. Just like, yeah, having my own space to game and being able to like encourage people to play without having to worry about selling stuff. It'd be nice. Make a studio and film battle reports. Get like all like nice equipment. Like a dedicated space. Club? Struggle with having space. Yeah, it'd be nice to have something. Yeah. Like I would love to set up something that's like a game store. But you know, it's just a space and you just do like, okay, well, tonight is this night for games, and tonight is, and you know, and this night's this night, and kind of doing stuff like that. But yeah, just people just kind of come and game, and you could have people running leagues and tournaments and stuff, and you could do various things. Not that I'd be running everything, but just having the space for that to be available. Signs I won that much money, other than maybe being busier than normal as I figure out what to do with it. Yeah. He jaded Valkyrie sure became paranoid recently. Something different. There's a game store not near me, but I've been to this game store a couple of times. But what they do, they have it's in a weird spot. But the whole back of the store, it's a pretty small storefront, but then they have this huge like back of the store. It's like like a giant garage slash, I guess it's a warehouse, like a really small warehouse. It's probably what it was in a previous life. Well, to go from the store to the game area, there's a door that they can lock that separates the two. And then there is a back door to get into the game area. And it's honestly like a giant, like there's a big like warehouse door, right? That opens up, and you know, they can let fresh air in, which is nice for a game store. But what they do is you can actually pay, I think it's annually, you pay an amount of money, like $60 a year or something. And they give you a key to the back door, so you can go in and game anytime you want. Stores open, stores closed, doesn't matter. You have access with a key. And what's up, Groovy? And I assume that they have, you know, cameras, and you have maybe it's like a key card that you have that you enter, and it tells like who is entering and everything. So there are ways to like be accountable with it. But I think that's a really cool idea. And if I were to have like, you know, if I were to win all this money and have a game club, I would do something similar. That would be my plan. Would be like, hey, a cheap like $5 a month, $10 a month. You get you know, you get access whenever you want to come and game. But, you know, it records, you know, things and just to make sure. Yeah. You're no longer sued. Okay. Oh, well, that's good. Congrats. I hope it's no longer because, like, you won and everything, right? That's wild, dude. Guess you know what Groovy would do with his money if he won $500 million. Dang. Yeah, I do like that idea. I like that idea of having a you'd move. Yeah, that's fair. Of having a game club, people can pay, people can access it anytime they want, and yeah, just making sure like the kind of security measures are in place that if something were to happen, there was accountability. That would be the dream. So if someone wants to go at 3 a.m. and go game, then by all means, go game at 3 a.m. Used by a large amount of land, start a solar farm, and use the profit to continue expanding them. Dang, okay. Nice. Look at that. Mr. Renewable Energy. Love it, my draw. How about this? Start buying parking lots and then putting solar farms on top of the parking lots. Pay off debts and stuff. I'd still go to work. It's good to get out of the house. Yeah. Just like a scruffy nerf herder. Yeah. Because you'd be called new money rich. Old money rich is when, you get all the snobby, rich people that do rich people things. New money rich is definitely not like that. Just bulldoze up the blacktop. Don't need the heat. Yeah. When you think of like efficiency and like solar farms taking up space and stuff, I feel like to me an easy solution is use parking lots. We have way too many parking lots as it is, so why not just use that space to turn into solar farms, and then you're not taking up nature. Humanitarian cause? I'd start an intercity urban vertical farm that could supply the area with fresh produce. That's cool. Yeah, vertical farm, that's really cool. We're making parking spaces way off. Yeah. Quite, I think. I keep going through some of these metal pieces here. This guy also has a metal plate on his head. Yeah, like self-sustaining. Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. Parking ramps used to be a thing, and they're never properly maintained. Yeah. Sleep. Yeah. Fine. Would be punchy. Nothing wrong with that. System itself, 20-year. Plus that 3 batteries or longer term, costs more solar. I will use some laser reflection. I read, Troy, that the whole like solar panels degrading over 15 years or whatever was proven to be false, and that solar panels last a lot longer than was previously stated. It was like Sweden or something, a Swedish study. I just realized, like, after 15 years, even solar panels built 15 years ago are still like 80% efficient today. You know, that technology is always improving, so let's have a 25-year guarantee. Yeah. Skull crab. We'll have to get a side of his head is metal. 15 years, a lot of power, and recyclable. Yeah. A lot of stuff. Tech's growing by a lot, but they have that sweat to cool. You guys are all just like metal caps on their heads. Okay, yeah, I don't know any of that, Troy. I don't know any of it. Listen, man, I just occasionally read about this stuff, and that's the most knowledge I got about it, so. Suck up moisture at night and sweat it out in the heat to cool the solar panels. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay, so the actual panels like sweat is what you're saying. That's crazy. Moisture farms, yep. Gotta be real honest with you guys. I think that's why none of us will ever be billionaires. It's because we're thinking about the cool things we can do for other people. And our dreams of when we have money, it's like, cool, I have money. And like, how can I maintain this or do good things with it? It's not, how do I get as much as possible, even though I already have, like, 50 lifetimes worth of money. How do I get more? Future and prosperity, screw that, number go up. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like weird head structure. I don't think this side of his head. It's metallic, but they have like the weird like scales or whatever. I don't know what you call them on his head. need a little more silver, and I need a smaller brush at this point. A 3 years back, someone worked recycling capability. Core magnet. Okay, wow. Yeah, so technology advances really quick with all this. Surrounded by national forest. Dang. Silver. Could sell it to the Forest Service, but yeah, they weren't having it. I worked with a guy who lived in like near downtown Columbus. It was in like a really kind of bad area, but he had lived there for like 20 years, him and his wife, and they bought their house really cheap. They fixed it up. It was pretty nice, but again, it was a bad area. Well, it was 2020. We were all getting laid off from this place, and he was one of the people getting laid off. And after working at this job for like 35 years, and they decided to try to sell their house, him and his wife. And again, dumpy part of town and everything, like bad neighborhood, and that was maybe getting a little gentrified, but they were able to sell their house for $600,000. That's what they got for their house. And it was in 2020. So like, yeah, he probably put a lot of work into his house and everything, but the fact that he was able to sell his house for $600,000, like, he'd already built up a retirement. He got a severance from this job. Like, I'm pretty sure you just retire at that point, right? Like, he was gonna go buy a little house in the country and like enjoy his time. He was maybe 60, I think. Yeah, I think that's all the metal on these guys. So I got you. Just gotta get all the little like ports and stuff. Back in the ocean. Kids, math, real world. Okay. Yeah, Troy, I don't know anything about electricity or transferring electricity to anything, so you might as well be speaking a foreign language. Sell the plot to fund fixing the place back up and selling it for the... Yeah, there you go. Try to retire as soon as my kids move out. Yeah, there you go. Why wait? I'm trying to retire now. Part-time by the time you're 44. Okay, nice. Ray just sounds like he has a legitimate plan here. Good. Trying to have, yeah. Family had to work together. We could all be wealthy. Very much didn't. Yeah. Sweet fit. Jeez. Mistake. Okay. So I'm back to it. Soldering's getting better. Good. The below means save a lot. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I want to work. I like my job, but I do want to pay off my house in 7-ish years. You have 21 years on standard payments. You just put like $100 more in toward your mortgage, toward your balance or whatever. I wish we would have done that. We have 16 years left on ours, and if we would have put $100 more in the first like couple years, we would have cut like 10 years off of that. Yeah, been doubling your payments. Okay, yeah, nice. I don't think we had the means to pay extra on our house for a long time, though, but that was advice I had heard and ignored. Yeah, that would have been crazy to have that much paid off on our house at this point. Retire in old age after working for 50 years and get like 3 years before they pass. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Today's Wednesday. We are doing Patreon Hangout if you guys want to come chill. If you are any paid member in the Patreon, get access to the Hangout. Just on Discord, we just chill and talk. I don't know, my draw's been chilling with us. What time is it? It's we normally start on 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So my draw has been coming to hang out with us for a little bit. He streams around 9 o'clock, right? 9:30 or so. But he's been a couple times. I don't know my draw. Would you say it's chill? Is it fun or worth it? I'm normally just painting minis and yeah, we're just finding stuff to talk about. That's pretty typical idea. And sometimes it's just, 3 or 4 of us. Sometimes there's like 7 or 8 people. Amulet. Circuit board would have worked better, I suspect. You don't have it down. Dang, that sounds crazy though, Groovy. So till 9:30. Yeah. Well, we normally go until about 11. So I know we have some folks, mainly Eoraptor, doesn't join us until about 10 p.m. Eastern, but he is also in Europe and is waking up super early and then jumping into chat. So around for a bit. No obligation whatsoever, but always nice to have more people. Wires take up a lot of space. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you learned a lot doing it. It's good. All right. You going to make more? Or is this just like a one-off thing? Hammer I made use a strip array at the head. It's a different challenge. Okay. Off this way. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. New skills then. If you guys weren't here for the announcement yesterday, there is a new channel point redemption if you happen to have many points saved up. But if you redeem it and then send me a message on Discord, and I will paint a mini for you. You send me a mini, I'll paint it for you and send it back. Aren't that hard to make by themselves? Curved sword or hammer. Okay. Yeah, it's all the embellishments that make it difficult. That's fair. I don't know if I would trust myself to do that properly. I don't like working with electrical or electricity. Not my jam. I'm not sure what to do with like their rounds yet. Probably look up their colors and try to figure something out, but it's little V12 volt battery packs, yeah. Okay. Silver, yeah, I do see there are a couple spots. Get some brown in here. But he was. Okay. Mr. iPad screen here. Who else we got? You are covering the screen of your iPad. Here you. Yeah, I'd imagine they would fly everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Next thing I want to do. Some burgundy, which I'm running a little low on that. I do have a replacement burgundy. Okay, cool. I'll keep that out to remind myself. All the handles of things. We'll live with the mistake on that for now. It's fine. It's funny, the music I play on my stream, it's the same playlist every day. And you know, this playlist runs for 3 hours or whatever every day. And it's like copyright free music or whatever, like it's the lo-fi hip hop channel or whatever. And YouTube still gets me about half the time after I finish streaming and the VOD comes up where it tells me that there's a copyright issue with what I have because of the music, and they'll tell me the specific songs, but then they're like, nope, that's copyright music that you're playing. It's just funny. Like it's about half the time. It's the same songs play every stream. Half the time YouTube has an issue with it. That was Friday, so I busted them out so I could have them done this week. So it turns out you have another week. Oh no. Well, you got a week to sit and chill, or you have time to, I don't know, touch things up and make sure they're all set, right? Yeah, I don't even know if that's a IP trolling or just like YouTube's, I don't know, whatever, probably AI that they have going through and just letting me know, like, hey, there's copyright stuff here or whatever. Indie bonus project. Okay, cool, good. Wait, well, good for you getting it done early. Hard stuff first, yeah, nice. Well, hopefully a little easier week then. I have to figure out how to paint these rounds, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to look up the Leagues of Votann. We'll look up this mini and see how color they paint these rounds. Okay. Oh, I like how they paint those. Those are cool. Alright, we'll do that. I have the colors down. I have the means. It's just these two minis that are getting it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. I had time to paint something. Whoa. Chill out there. Okay, so essentially everything but the pointed front of this is going to be black to start. Work. that one. Get this one. Holding it backwards. Front tip of these will be silver, and those little bars going all around the actual cylinder part of it will be bronze. Bronze is a nice color to use there, so we'll just use regular bronze. Oh, now I look at it, it's actually the reverse. Now I see this guy's holding it backwards. Oh well. We do them all black. Okay. Dry for a moment. Guess while that's drying, we could do some beards and hair and stuff. So let's do that. Let's put you guys to the side. This guy, get your mustache. What's another color? Let's do this. Oh, you got a beard? Yeah, you got a beard. Okay. What else? We'll do some gray. How about that? We two gray beards. It's the two old guys. Okay. To these. axes, I think these blades should be silver to start. We might adjust those later. We have power cables on those axes also. And we have power buttons on the tablets. All things to address. And I think the power buttons we can do in just this burgundy color. Stand out a little bit. Alright, and then I think it's our last base color here. We put some washes up. We're gonna put some bronze down. And maybe we our first wash down and we'll call it there. Refunded the monitor they never sent? So okay, good. Alright. Put you guys to the side for a minute. We'll start with... Well, I got this guy. I don't know what to do with this guy's... do a similar thing as this other... These rounds here. It's only the crew for these guns, but really productive day regardless. Gotta be painted eventually, and since I'm out of my bone color paint, might as well make it might as well make it as productive as possible. Okay. Oh, we didn't do this either. Alright, this will be back on the axes. So, the first wash, the wash I'm going to put on now is going to be, a lot of these guys need 3 washes. But yeah, we're just going to start with the one, where is it? We're going to do Seraphim Sepia, and we're going to dilute it. We got 50-50 dilution, and we're going to put it over, it's the orange and the bone color. It's okay if we have some spillover, because other washes and highlights cover things. You just don't want too much. It's the key. So, put down a drop of flow improver. Let's do 2 drops. You know, I was thinking, is there a model in the Votann army I haven't painted? And I don't think there is at this point. Well, is there? Let's see. I have painted that. Yeah, painted all those. Painted them. Yeah, okay, yeah. I have painted every model then. Well, when I finish these, I will have painted every model in the Votann collection. Or at least one of each model. Pretty simple with this wash. Just a couple of these left. Paint for this last one, which is unfortunate. Almost had it down. Next time I'm on stream, Sunday, we'll either have these minis done and on to the next thing, but regardless, we'll be continuing on with Votann. Sure all the proper stuff gets its washes and stuff, and I can get my printer fixed. I'll be printing a few minis for myself over the weekend. We'll see though. All right. Well, while that dries, we are just going to take this chance and say goodbye for the day. So yeah, that's it. But that's a lot done. Yeah, we got these guys. They're moving. They're moving. What's up, Star Laser? I am just calling the stream right now. So two colors are different. These two colors different to you guys? They look different to me. Anyway, sorry about that, Star Laser. But yeah, we got a lot of progress done. I am not streaming tomorrow. Again, I'll post it in general chat or something and let you guys know. I will not be on tomorrow, but I will be back on Sunday. And tomorrow, if you are not a Patreon member, tomorrow is I do have a YouTube video coming out. So just some stuff about 3rd edition Horus Heresy. If you want to know how to build an army, that is that's what that video is about. So we're doing that, but we are doing Patreon Hangout tonight, though. So if you're a Patreon member, we got our Hangout tonight. But otherwise, I will see you guys Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and yeah, and a great day today. Bye, everybody.